What improved your life so much, you wished you did sooner?
Stopped arguing with random strangers on the internet. Sometimes I'll type out a comment for the catharsis and then just delete it and go on my way.
Doing at least one chore a day. You would be amazed at how well getting something done, even if you hate it, can fight back against certain depressive mentalities, particularly the ones that convince you you're useless or a burden.
I started viewing things as potential experiences rather than just opportunities for achievement. Before that, for example, if I took a class then I was only focused on the grade. If I couldn't get a good grade, I didn't like the class. Heck, I wouldn't even start a book if I thought it might be too hard or too long and I might not finish it. Then I realized the purpose of classes, and books and other things, was to learn, and that hard ones were likely the ones I learned the most from. Even if I didn't get the best grade, I started doing all sorts of stuff with the idea that I just wanted the experience. Even if I was the worst one out there, who cares? I wasn't there for the achievement, I wanted to learn things. This works socially as well, and I started taking way more risks, telling myself that, at the very least, it would be a learning experience. I saw a saying once, "It's only a failure if you stop trying. Otherwise, it's an experiment." I love it.
Moved away from the state I grew up in. I didn't know how unhappy I was. I had gotten used to being miserable, and now that I'm in a better area I'm a completely different person.
Learning to set boundaries and saying no. It's so important to be able to do this, and while most people realize the benefits for yourself, it's so much nicer to have a partner you know will say no, and set boundaries. An ex of mine was really worried about messing things up and would rarely say no, or set boundaries even though I was constantly pushing her to set them, and I had to be really slow and pay attention to her as she tried to hide any discomfort so I would know. It stemmed from her past and how she was taught to act growing up. But we were able to work on it and she was much better later on. While it's always important to watch out for your partner's reactions to make sure they're comfortable anyways, having someone who tells you when and when they don't feel comfortable makes a world of difference. All is to say, don't think it's selfish to say no and set boundaries. It's much better for everyone, especially yourself.
Daily exercise. It doubled my energy for an hour out of my day. And that's just the benefit you get now. You have no idea the dividends you'll collect on that as you age. The key to aging gracefully is in staying active. Hope you are enjoying the extended version of What Improved Your Life So Much, You Wished You Did Sooner. Like and subscribe to Pink Bananas.
Eating more healthily. Getting a lot of questions about how I did it. Here's some suggestions with the reminder that this works for me, may not work for you. If you really are serious about losing weight, consult a doctor and/or a nutritionist. 1. I was a carbs fiend. Pasta, rice, bread. If it had carbs, I wanted 4 servings of it. Sugar is carbs too. So I started watching how many carbs I consumed a day. It shocked me. So now I'm a lot more aware of how many carbs I eat. 2. Building on number 1, serving sizes. To me, an open container of any size was a single serving. I pay attention to how much I'm supposed to eat. For snacks, I'm addicted to Smart Food. You can order a bunch of them in single serving sizes. 3. Vegetables. I always ate veggies, now I eat more. What used to be 2/3 potatoes or pasta or rice with a meal is now 2/3 vegetables. 4. Cut back on meat. We usually go meatless for dinner at least twice a week. I hardly eat it at breakfast, and lunch is about 50-50. I'd say 90% of the meat we do eat is chicken or fish. 5. I have always loved to cook, but now I'm really stretching my wings and trying things I wouldn't do before. If you don't know how to cook, learn. Alton Brown or Ina Garten are great starting places. Don't be intimidated by it. You're not working for Gordon Ramsay, you're just feeding yourself. Learn spices. Steaming veggies sucks. Roast that shit. Stir fry that shit. Eat it raw. Anything but steaming. Except boiling. That's worse. 6. Bring your lunch to work. If you eat breakfast at work, bring that too. Same with snacks unless you can get healthy ones there. 7. Don't beat yourself up if you have a cheeseburger. You are going to fail. I fail all the time. Every day is a new start. 8. We only eat out or order out once a week. 9. Water. More than you think. Learn to love to pee. 10. I can't do this right now because I broke my foot, but a walk after every meal helps with your blood sugar. 10 minutes after breakfast and lunch. A half hour after dinner. 11. All things in moderation. You can have butter or cheese or fried foods, just not every meal. And keep to what you're supposed to eat. It's a lot smaller than you think. Anyway, that's some of the stuff that I personally did. It worked for me. It may not work for you. I'm not a dietitian, just a dude who wanted to lose some weight.
Quitting smoking. Do whatever works for you. Use patches. Slowly reduce the amount day by day, or just stay in bed and cry. Quit lying to yourself about tomorrow. Do it now. I went full hardcore cold turkey, and I have to admit that those first 3 days were pure hell. I took long walks, drank a lot of water, and kept repeating to myself, Nothing bad is going to happen to you if you don't smoke. There is also an app which has many useful tips and psychological tricks, Smoke-Free app. For me it was an essential thing. It's also where I've learned about the sub here on Reddit. I used to think that I was hopeless, that I loved smoking like nobody did, that I will never make it. Bullshit. Everyone can do that. Never doubt that. Forget switching to vaping. It will make things only worse, because you'll start smoking basically everywhere. Download the app, subscribe to subreddit Stop Smoking, and remember that quitting smoking is the best thing you can do for yourself in your life. It's absolutely doable for everyone. Exercise and treat yourself as much as you can. Your brain needs all the missing dopamine. I hope it helps. P.S. And, yeah, don't try to do it, just do it.
Low impact cardio. Fuck, I loved to run, but it destroyed my legs. I can swim my little heart out.
Quitting drinking is the best thing I've ever done for my mental and physical health, and it's done nothing but improve my relationships. The last year and a half have been the best I've ever had.
When I was told that I would lose my eyesight, it made me pay more attention to how beautiful the sky was. I can still see, and I enjoy watching the clouds on a level one can't even explain. Thanks to everyone for the love. You all have made me very happy.
Listening to the sound of rain to fall asleep.
Eating dinner or a late snack at work. Too often I would leave work hungry, and the temptation driving past Chick-fil-A or the corner taco shop was too much. I've kept my weight under control for a couple of years now, having dropped from the 220s to the 170s.
Stopped caring what others think about me. This is a hard one to achieve. I'm still actively working on it. I find that the older I get, the easier it is to not care. My car broke down in the middle of a turn lane today in such a way that my hazard lights were barely visible and I was nearly in tears, not being able to explain to the people and trying to get around me at the last second how sorry I was for being in the way. The first person to stop and actually ask if I was okay was an older gentleman, and I may have ranted, "I'm so sorry, my hazards are on, I can't move my car at all, I'm so sorry," at him. He was like,
"Whoa, slow down. Are you okay?"
I explained that a tow truck was on the way and blah blah electrical system, but that I felt terrible about all the people I was pissing off by being in their way. Traffic light meant he had to get back to his car, but he stopped to say,
"They didn't ask if you were alright, did they? Then fuck them. Stay safe."
As somebody who still struggles not to focus on making other people happy first, I hope that one sticks with me.
Bachelor degree at 47 years old. Master degree at 50 years old. Doubled my salary in 4 years, from just getting by to on track for retiring at 60.
I started flower gardening. Really relaxing. You will see results all summer. Lots of successes and failures, but failures bring improvements. And I listen to Audible books while I'm at it sometimes. Especially great if you have a desk job. It's so nice to know so many are enjoying gardening. I had no idea it would be a Reddit thing.
Not everyone can afford this, but moving closer to work. My commute went from 45 miserable minutes in traffic glaring in hatred at the taillights in front of me to a pleasant 15-minute bike ride. I got an hour of free time every day and better health.
My social skills. Looking back, I could have made some awesome new friends, but nope, my anxiety-driven ass had to be difficult back then. Honestly, life can influence this. I'm nearing the end of an ultra-stressful period of my life, and to be honest, I haven't made many friends from it. It's because I've been so stressed that I've shut myself off. Only as things are coming to an end have I felt the veil lift, and my ordinary personality return. Ensure you're comfortable and relaxed perhaps.
No one has said it yet, but laser eye surgery. Best money I've ever spent. My only complaint about my eye surgery is that for about 2 to 3 weeks after, my vision was like a hawk. Unfucking real far-sighted clarity. I spent time outside just looking far away at leaves. But then it kinda settled, I guess, and while I'm still very happy with vision quality and no longer need correction, it felt so great having that perfect crisp sight.
Getting a work-from-home, 40-hour-a-week job. I was working like 55 hours a week in a warehouse before. So much room for activities. I will start by saying I am very lucky. I'm a fast learner and I had a friend in the business who helped guide me along. End of 2019. I worked like 85 hours in a week for Christmas in seafood retail and my brain broke. I decided I couldn't do it again the next year. I was salary too, so no bonus, no OT. I have a friend who dropped out of college the same year as me and he is working IT the last 10 years. Before that, he also was a warehouse manager. I asked him what I was doing wrong. He said,
"I know you're smarter than the work you're doing, so why don't you let me teach you how to do what I do?"
So he taught me some basics, which are also available on YouTube. Then I studied for and passed Microsoft certs, Basic Desktop, and MD 100, Modern Desktop. He picked these exams because we work closely with Microsoft. I got lucky again when his company lost an operations person and a tech the same week. Our boss was looking for a person who could do day-to-day operations and also ticket work. He told her I was managing a team of 30 people in a warehouse and I also had these 2 certs because I wanted out. She talked to me on the phone and took a chance on me. That was December 7th, 2020, so I didn't have to do another Christmas. I'm still here. My boss is great. My workload is amazing. I'm not rich monetarily by any means, but but I make more per hour than ever because I work less. Subreddit IT career questions is a great place to look around and check out. Those guys are extremely helpful. Lots of people start with CompTIA A+ to see if they even like it, and then they move on to other CompTIA exams, but again, we're MS-centric, so I stayed with that.
Finally, talking with my family doctor about my misuse of decongestant nose spray. He told me it's a common issue and that there is help. 1.5 years of tapering off and 2 surgeries later I used bad nose spray for the final time. I could kick myself for not talking about it for more than 20 years. The addiction's name is rhinitis medicamentosa, so it's not an addiction like alcohol, in the way there's a reward system in your brain. But it's a self-sustaining process. You have an infection and take nose spray. If you do it more than a few days, the reason why you took it at first is gone. But these sprays mean the nose clogs again. So you take nose spray against nose spray, which got worse and worse over the years.
Got a bidet toilet attachment. There's nothing like having a clean ass all the time. It also ruins your life because you can never poop anywhere else but home.
Reading books way more. I started reading science fiction and fantasy books instead of everything I read being great or literary. And I found I like reading things I enjoy more than things other people deem relevant or worthwhile.